we are gonna start on a follow-up to basically the Hassan thing last night. Rev put out a follow-up video yesterday, so we're kind of a day behind on this. But I'm kind of curious because, it's titled Hassan just ruined his life. Now, it's entirely possible they could be a rather clickbaity title, but I am curious, like, Rev doesn't usually do clickbaity type titles. So I'm kind of curious if there is more information. It's not clickbaity? Okay. Okay, then I am interested. Because that's why I say I think that there's fallout. This may be the beginning of the fallout regarding, with what happened with the debate. So I'm very curious. Let's find out.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rip here. So if you've been paying attention over the past couple of weeks, it's been a revolving door of non-stop drama and controversy involving a handful of content creators that we're going to once again revisit today because there's some more insane behavior going on. Over the past 24 hours alone, we've seen several large streamers on Twitch say not only that they support terrorist organizations in plain English, but also make more calls to violence against other content creators.
What?
It's ridiculous.
What?
It's exhausting. Now, what are we looking at here? Well, it is one of the most recent Hassan Piker streams, and you might notice that the title is a bit strange. Houthis show the limit of Iron Dome, as he types it in all caps and was probably pog facing as he was doing it. So what is he so enthusiastically?
I think that this is a reference to, I think, Line Crosser mentioned something about this. That I think that the Houthis may, if it's what I think it was, there is an anti-missile defense system that I think, and I could be mistaken, I could be wrong about this. I think the Israelis have an anti-missile defense system that they got from the US, and I think the Houthis may have fired a missile at the Israelis, and it didn't, and the anti-missile defense system missed. And I think it was like the first time that it missed. And I know, like, Line Crosser sort of, like, got into a thing on Twitter about it. But I think that's what this is in reference to, is, like, the Houthis fired a missile at the Israelis, and the Israelis' anti-missile defense system, missed. Or it failed in some way. So that is my guess of what this is.
Talking about here? Well, he's talking about the Houthi terrorists who sent a missile and launched it on a civilian commercial airport. Yeah, that's what he's talking about. A terrorist attack. And he's...
Oh, fuck. So again, he's promoting terrorism. Again, he is promoting terrorism. Because of fucking course he is. Like, is anybody surprised? Legitimately, is anybody surprised that he's promoting terrorists? Oh, I don't doubt that it's international airport crime. I do not doubt it. Yeah, it's like, this is who he is. And okay, like, I said yesterday during the thing where I was saying, like, okay, he can say the words that Israel is a terrorist country, and he can say the words the US is a terrorist country. He is within his rights to say that. I will still defend that it is within his legal First Amendment right to say X country and Y country is a terrorist country. It is within his rights. However, if you guess,
Timber
oh, I
and
forgot to
strays
anoint it.
prepare the trebuchet to yeet this fool.
If he goes to the extent of basically, how did I put this? Yeah, I already got that, Gore. Is he basically tries to affect influence or promotes it on his stream? That's different. That is different. So this is like with him promoting this. Now, granted, a stream title is not promotion. I do want to hear his words, and I'm sure Rev is going to show that. So let us just let Hassan open his gob and cram his foot down it by instantly promoting terrorism. And I'll just let Hassan do the work for me.
Commercial airports. Yeah, that's what he's talking about. A terrorist attack. And he's typing it out like it's some grand thing that he's so excited about. It's very strange behavior. But of course, he's always had some favor for the Houthi terrorists. In fact, he interviewed one and glazed up that terrorist nonstop during his quote-unquote interview. But also, we've had this notion that he supports them. And now, he's just made it very clear. When he was asked by a chatter whether or not he supports them, he made it very clear.
Here we go.
You said Ethan's words can make him seem pro-Zionist and that he should be more thoughtful, but when he pointed out that your language can come off as supportive of terrorism, why not just admit that you're careless sometimes too to his fans? It made you look like you can't admit fault. I have no problem with the Houthis. Yeah, because I don't. What do you mean? If you think I'm a terrorism supporter for that reason, then yeah, I'm a fucking terrorism supporter. What are you talking?
Here it is. He's a terrorism supporter. He supports terrorism. Because the Houthis are terrorists. The Houthis are classified as a terrorist organization. And he's good with that. Hey, Twitch. Hey, Twitch. Your golden boy openly just said he supports terrorism. Might want to look into that. You might want to look into that instead of threatening to ban streamers for making fun of one of his terrorist sympathizer cronies. No, Alistair, you can. The thing that I saw yesterday, from the looks of it, after looking into it a bit, I think that so many people were trying to report him for terrorist sympathizing to Twitch that they overloaded the reporting system, and that's why it was giving errors. Excuse me. So yes, you can absolutely report him. Now, Twitch is not going to do a fucking thing about it, but you can report him. But, you know, you've got people actively on Twitch on your platform saying they support terrorists. They've outright said it. Yet you're going to go after content creators and threaten to ban them for making fun of terrorist sympathizers. Because that's what happened with Tectone. Tectone made fun of Frogan. He made fun of Frogan, I think maybe due to her weight or what. I don't even know the context of what he made fun of her about. And Twitch was going to permaban him off the platform. But then they changed directions and said, no, we're not actually going to permaban you. And according to Tectone, which, take this with a grain of salt because he did not produce receipts on this one, so you take it with a grain of salt, but he said that Twitch informed him, if you don't want to catch a ban, leave Frogan alone. That is, according to Tectone, what Twitch told him. In regards to making fun of Rogan. Yet, Hassan openly admits to being a terrorist sympathizer. Well, Bobcat, because the Houthi are not Al-Qaeda, to my understanding. It's a different region. The Houthi are in a different region than Al-Qaeda is, at least to my understanding.
About the Houthis and their militancy in the Red Sea is a perfectly moral action. What would you do if there was a genocide happening in your fucking backyard? That's it. And Ethan had no answer for that.
Didn't
I
he?
also
Or are you
said,
just lying
yes, some
like you
people
always
think
do?
I'm a terrorist supporter, and that's on them and not me.
Well, there you have it, folks. He just straight up says it. He supports a terrorist organization. That is an absolutely wild thing, even for Hasan Piker. That's how mask off he went. He literally got one guide by this random chatter who was daring to challenge his opinion, and he just outright admits that he supports Houthi terrorists. It's absolutely insane. Then you see him talking about this moral right that the group has in the Red Sea. Does that absolute moral right include things?
Oh, yeah. He got mad about it because, again, it's the child mentality. He knows he's in the wrong. He knows that he's supporting... oh, my God. Excuse me. He knows he's supporting terrorist individuals. So he knows he's in the wrong. And what is a child's response when they're in the wrong and they get called out on it? Their voice goes up, they start to yell because in their minds, if they act loud and they act aggressive, then in their heads they think that, well, if I do this, then they're going to have to believe me. They're going to have to take me seriously. Because I couldn't possibly get this loud or this, this aggressive if I wasn't being genuine. Is that... oh my God, why am I coughing so much today? You could be right. He may genuinely believe what he's saying. He actually could believe it, which makes it even worse. Yeah, believe us not forget, and I'm not going to go into details, but the Houthis conducted disgusting attacks on people in the form of extremely violent SA type of actions. Okay? You can say what, your opinion regarding the conflict that is taking place in that region. Whatever your opinion might be on it, that is your opinion in terms of the overarching conflict. These people, the Houthis, actually committed excessively violent acts of SA and torture on civilians. Key word there. They did it to civilians. That's a terrorist group. If he supports those kinds of people and those kinds of actions, that's a problem for Twitch. Flat out, that is a problem for Twitch. Because does Twitch want to have the reputation that one of their top streamers, their golden boy, that they are protecting at every possible turn, is someone that endorses and promotes a terrorist organization that has done some of the most horrific acts to people that we've ever seen. So Twitch has got a problem. And they need to start addressing it before it gets really out of hand. Fox News cover, that doesn't surprise me. That's what I figured that the debate was going to cause this level of fallout. That does not surprise me. That's why I wanted to watch this Fred video, is because this is all fallout from this debate, and I imagine it's going to spread fairly far in this respect.
Like sending missiles at ships, at civilian airports, also taking over merchant ships, and doing all of these other terrible, awful things that are very clear acts of terrorism. He is so deep in this, it's actually insane. Now, of course, you think to yourself, TOS, right? I know it's kind of pointless with Hasan Piker to bring up the TOS, but this is the most obvious breaking of the TOS. Now, it's kind of like that fact, I believe it's like the average American accidentally commits 2 to 3 felonies a day because they're not aware of certain laws or rules that exist and they just happen to break them by living life. That's kind of like with Twitch streams. If you look hard enough at pretty much any stream, you can find something that might break a rule somewhere in their giant TOS here. But this one,
and yes, for everyone saying that Hassan's behavior on a Twitch stream is covered by First Amendment. No, it isn't. The one thing that I allowed for that said it is First Amendment protected is during the debate with Ethan, where he said that he considers the state of Israel and the United States to be terrorist countries. That alone is covered by First Amendment because he's not calling for any specific actions or encouraging others to take actions against these countries. So simply labeling as a private citizen, labeling a country as a, quote, terrorist country, unquote, is indeed protected by the First Amendment. That is. However, promoting terrorist organizations and showing support and giving them a platform and saying that you're wonderful, keep doing what you're doing, when what they're doing is terrorist activities, that ain't protected by freedom of speech. That's not necessarily protected by freedom of speech. And leave us not forget, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. And when you are broadcasting on a public platform, you need to abide by any TOS rules that the platform has. Now, like Rev was saying, when it comes to TOS, I think that there needs to be, in terms of like TOS violations, I do think in terms of enforcement, I think it should only be done if the person deliberately flouts TOS and just says, fuck the TOS, I'm doing whatever the hell I want. If they do something and it's just like incidental, like, okay, I violated TOS, but I wasn't actively seeking to, it's like I kind of stumbled into it, but I was not actually trying to do something that violated TOS, that's different. That is different. But Hassan does this on a fucking daily basis. On a daily basis, Hassan does this. And so this is not an accidental stumbling into a TOS issue. This is fucking flouting it. This is Hassan saying, I can literally do whatever the fuck I want because I got the high up people in Twitch under my desk. And so I can literally do anything I want and I won't suffer any consequences because of it. Again, I will remind everyone that Hassan called for the unaliving of a sitting U.S. congressperson. He literally called for the unaliving of a sitting congressperson and only caught a one-day ban. I don't even think it was a full 24 hours that he caught a ban for. Was it two? I only knew of the one. No, J10, I would have to say they're under his desk. Not vice versa. And again, I will again reiterate, Asmund said something about a collective of people in that region that was factually accurate in his descriptor of these people, but did not call sheer harm in any way against these people. He simply described these people as the disgusting human beings that they are, without advocating for any kind of violence whatsoever against the people, and Twitch gave him a 2-week ban. I'm kind of seeing a discrepancy in the doling out of punishment regarding the TOS on this one.
Isn't something you accidentally violate. You don't accidentally violate the terrorism and violent extremism rule in the TOS, which clearly does not allow you to glorify or support terrorism And here's Hassan Piker saying, I support Houthi terrorists. Plain
Yep.
and clear. And we're not even talking about the fact that he played terrorist propaganda in the past, which is also a very clear violation of the TOS. You can't even play it for educational reasons or to denounce it. You can't play it at all, and he's done it multiple times. And then you also have this language here about supporting terrorism, which he just outright says, I support the Houthis, which, by the way, are a designated foreign terrorist organization.
And don't forget, we're violent street extremist actors or acts. Acts. I'm just a simple anime cat girl. But I'm pretty sure glorifying a missile attack by terrorists on a civilian airport is glorifying terrorist acts. I'm not a legal scholar, I'm just a simple country cat girl. But that sounds like glorifying a terrorist act to me.
Houthis, which, by the way, are a designated foreign terrorist organization. So that's not even up for debate. It's a fact at this point. And overall, why is this guy fighting so hard to glorify this group who is known for bringing back slavery? Yes, taking men and forcing them to fight on the behalf of the Houthis, taking women into sexual slavery, including children, torturing children, killing children, doing all of this stuff. It's absolutely disgusting. You're going to scroll through anything like this. There's no women's rights.
This one. Women's rights in Houthi areas are non-existent. Ardent Islamist Houthis restrict women's rights even more than their patrons in Iran do. They treat women like property. They're banned from working, forbidden from using birth control, prevented from going out bareheaded or while wearing makeup, must have a male escort for traveling. They are permitted in restaurants after producing a valid marriage certificate. Women are property to the Houthi extremists. Women have no rights with the Houthi. They have no rights. Think about that. They're worse than Iran. And Iran already treats women like shit. They already treat women like absolute shit. The Houthis are even worse. They're even worse. And leave us not forget, I'm going to bring this up. A certain someone in Hassan's circle, a certain former moderator for Hassan, who wanted to bake a cake celebrating the 9/11 attacks, also supports the Houthi. How, what, brother, cousin, second nephew, fucking I don't remember what the relation was, is a Houthi terrorist. She supports them. But the funny part is if she ever went to the place of her support, is it brother? Okay, I don't even remember what the relation was. I don't fucking care. If she went to the land of the people whom she so ardently supports, this is the funny part. This is why she will never go to Gaza. Because if she does, she'll never leave and she will become property. That's the crazy fucking part of it. While she has been saying, I hope U.S. soldiers get PTSD and no health care, the very soldiers that she despises are the ones that are keeping her from becoming property. That's the fucking crazy part. Because if she went to the land that she claims to support, she would have no rights. She would not be a person. She would be property. Because that is how these people view women. Their property. Their only purpose to exist is to pop out babies. Male babies. Key word, key thing there. Mike, they don't give a fuck about the female babies. They just want the male babies to pass on the family name. Their property, otherwise. Just remember that. These are the people that Hassan stands for. The person that he promoted on his platform, the terrorist whose dick he was sucking off, metaphorically speaking, is someone that thinks that has this opinion of women. When a reporter went to, I can't recall if it was Houthi or Hezbollah, I'm sure one of you guys will let me know, but a reporter actually talked to a fighter in like a group of fighters in this region, and when she asked about women's rights, the men all just started laughing because they do not consider women human beings. I can't remember, Stefan. It was Hezbollah, or it was Hamas, or it was the Houthis. I cannot honestly remember who this report, like which organization this reporter was interviewing. But that's who Hassan supports. And Twitch is fine with this. Twitch is just fine with this.
In any of these areas, they persecute the Jews. One of their main monikers of their entire group is a curse upon the Jews. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And sometimes I guess we get a little bit fatigued by people like Hassan Piker. We're too used to this sort of behavior, but it's outrageous. And
yeah, it is.
Twitch is really pushing the limits. I mean, they've pushed it way beyond where it should have gone. If Twitch had 9 lives, they're on the last one at this point. I don't know how all of this hasn't crumbled already, especially in the leadership positions. How is Dan Clancy still operating at the top while allowing this to continue over and over again? It's crazy. When Amazon finally takes a real look at Twitch and what's going on this platform, it's going to be nuclear. They're going to be getting rid of a lot of people like Dan Clancy.
Yeah. I think if Jeff Bezos and Amazon proper really turns the Sauron eye on Twitch, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be going away. A lot of people. Because I'm fully, yes, they absolutely will, because now it's starting to hit the main airwaves with news stories. It's actually starting to hit the airwaves in mainstream news. They're not going to be able to hide this anymore. They are not going to be able to bury their head in the sand. And my guess is, if nothing happens, I suspect very soon we are going to probably see Adpocalypse 2.0 as fallout from what is happening with Hassan and this debate that he was involved in. I honestly think I think Adpocalypse 2.0 may be incoming, where advertisers are going to say, you know what? We don't want our products associated with a platform with a company that platforms a terrorist sympathizer. Like, there's already been, like, Hassan, Frogan, and Oldham were the cause of the apocalypse that happened 6 months ago. When the apocalypse happened like 6 months ago, they were the cause. They were the cause of it. They're going to be the cause of another one. You're going to see even more advertisers say, you know what, Twitch? You're propping this guy up. You're treating him like your golden boy. We're out. We don't want to have anything to do with you. Adpocalypse, for those of you that don't know, Adpocalypse is basically where advertisers pull out of a platform like Twitch or YouTube. You know, because plenty of the big streamers get a lot of their revenue comes from ads. So, you know, if they, and depend, and how much money they can make for ads depends upon the particular advertiser that is, showcasing ads on a platform. So if advertisers start pulling out of the platform, that means less ad revenue. Means less for the big streamers that really count on the ad revenue. That was the whole thing I was talking about with the guy from FaZe Clan that was pissing and moaning because his weekly ad revenue went from like 5K down to 2K. That old bullshit thing. That was from the adpocalypse.
Advertisers pull out and shoot their load elsewhere.
Basically, bench. Yes, they'll pull out of Twitch and they'll then go over to YouTube. And yeah, it also hurts Twitch because when the adpocalypse happens, that takes money out of Twitch's pocket too. So I have a feeling, especially with what Hassan said at the beginning of the debate, before the debate even began, where he basically said Shopify supports terrorism because they sponsor Ethan's stream, and they went, oh wait, Shopify sponsors me too. What do you want to bet the next day Shopify said, fuck that route? I'll bet you Shopify might have already contacted Hassan and said, yeah, we're terminating our business relationship with you. We out. And I suspect a lot of advertisers are going to be contacting Twitch and going, fuck this shit, we're out. We don't want to have anything to do with you while you're promoting this on your platform. Clip at TwitchCon where they interviewed Hassan specifically away from the walls. No, Ryan, because I didn't see anything from TwitchCon. So I completely did not. It's... As someone who handles ads explained it, advertisers don't like Twitch already, and I think he said they already put a small testing budget into it to see how things go before committing, but don't quote you as it was in a video I watched. Okay, Cheryl, fair enough. But that sounds logical. What you just said, that advertisers are already very skittish in terms of advertising on Twitch right now because of people like Hassan and those within his circle. They are very skittish because he has such a huge following. And this debate and the fallout coming from it is not helping. It's only going to make it worse.
And they're going to do something about people like Hassan Piker, and they're probably going to overreact, and they're going to try to get rid of a lot of things, even getting close to the type of commentary he provides, because it's gotten that bad and that out of hand. How is this not blowing up even more? This is a crazy thing to do. We're sitting here and watching one of the faces of...
Sorry, Rev. Your dog, you are absolutely correct. Twitch redid the political tag specifically so advertisers could specifically not advertise on channels with the political tag. And if you ended up being political without the political tag on, then Twitch would forcibly engage the political tag on your channel. So that was, and your dog, that was the result of Adpocalypse. The Adpocalypse that happened 6 months ago, that was one of the results of it, is that they did the political tag as a warning to any advertisers to basically stay away from that stream.
Of a major platform openly say he supports a terrorist organization. And it's not even surprising, just given the way that he has been. It's surprising he actually admitted it in plain English. But yeah, he did it. And now what?
It's not just Hassan, though,
What is Twitch going to do about this? Probably nothing. And it doesn't really matter because you can't even report him. It's been shared that you literally can't even report Hassan Piker anymore. It just gives you an error message.
Okay, now this is what I talked about earlier. I did a little bit of follow-up on this. I looked at other responses. Other people have said, yes, you can, because they show their own tags of reporting Hassan for terrorism. My suspicion is so many people, and I may be proven wrong about this. Maybe Twitch really is blocking people from trying to report Hassan. It is absolutely possible, and I could be wrong on this. My suspicion is so many people, because this probably occurred during the debate when Hassan was promoting terrorism. there were probably so many people submitting these reports, it overloaded the reporting system. That is my suspicion. There's just there were probably thousands of people simultaneously trying to report Hassan for terrorism, and it just flat out overloaded the report system, and that's probably why they got the internal error. Maybe I'm wrong. It may come out that Twitch actually actively blocked anybody but from reporting Hassan, but I don't think it is, because I have seen other people posting in response to this. I was able to report Hassan no problem, and showing screenshots of them being able to report it. Now, all of this is a moot point, because Twitch is not going to take action on any of the reports that make it through in the first place. It's all moot anyway. Hassan probably gets reported as a terrorism supporter on a daily basis. Like factually reported as a terrorism sympathizer or supporter because of his stream. So Twitch has been ignoring these reports for years. Because he didn't get banned, Xanax. That's why he did not get banned. Twitch will not ban him unless their hand is forced. And outside of when he called for the unaliving of the sitting congressperson, she hasn't done anything. His actions have not resulted in potential outside influence forcing Twitch's hand. So, like this, if it comes out that Twitch was blocking this, okay, another point in the negative column in the Twitch Hassan collaboration. But let's be honest, Twitch is not listening to these reports anyway. Every report that comes in about Hassan probably goes straight into the trash anyway. They don't look at any of that. So it's kind of a moot point here anyway.
Can't even get it through. It's insane. It's insane we're at this point, but again, it's not too surprising. Now, for Hassan, he's been in the news cycle, the major news cycle, a lot recently, including with fluff pieces like this by the New York Times. Let me read the original title of this article.
Oh my God.
A progressive mind in a MAGA body. For the presumably left-leaning journalist who made this, that is one of the most incredible and wild self-owns I've ever seen. But that was the original title. They got bullied into changing it because so many people...
Okay, Res may read this, but where's pearls? What fucking pearls? Unless Hassan is getting a pearl necklace, which honestly would not surprise me in the slightest if Hassan was partial to receiving pearl necklaces. I could believe that. His brand of masculinity has won him many fans online. Chat, I have a question. How many of you equate the name Hassan Piker and masculinity? I'm sorry, my brain just won't allow for that connection to happen. Every time I try and put the two together, my brain starts short-circuiting on me. I start error 404ing every time I try and think Hassan and masculinity in the same sentence. No, masculinity. That's what this New York Times cuck reporter is saying. Cause let's face it, I don't know who wrote this article. Whoever wrote this article is a fucking cuck.
Or making fun of it, and the new title's not much better, but you can see fluff pieces like that. There's been a lot of them recently, but also he's getting some negative attention. You can see he was on Fox News, or at least they were covering him on Fox News, and he gets real nervous.
With anti-Semitism.
Let's go.
I am sorry. After October 7th, this is not about criticism of Israel or the Israeli government.
I think I'm going to go to jail, by the way. That's like, okay. This might actually cause me to go to jail, low-key, but high-key.
Genocidal slogans about the...
That's not a thing, you asshats. Feet. I'm gonna rant, but thank you, Feek. I need to rant, though. Low P, but high key is not a thing. That they literally just fucking cancel each other out. No, Shiro, I understand that he's being sarcastic. You can hear it in his voice that he's being sarcastic. The sarcasm is covering up fear. That's the thing. The sarcasm is covering up fear. Why? Okay, I'm gonna get slightly political on this, but it is for a factual basis. Hassan actually, I think, is scared. Why? Because Fox News is calling out how Hassan is being a terrorist sympathizer. Fox News is. Who do we know that religiously listens to Fox News because they slurp and glorp all over a certain person's orange cock? So we know he watches this. Uh-huh. So what do you think? What do you want to bet that a word might come down the pipeline to the FBI director saying, hey, you might want to look into this guy who's a known terrorist sympathizer because we don't like terrorist sympathizers. So while he's acting like he's being sarcastic, oh, I'm thinking I'm going to go to jail, by the way, low key, but high key, which isn't a thing. I think he may actually be scared. I think he's actually scared because it is a legit possibility now. Not IceGate. ICE is not gonna. ICE would have no jurisdiction here. FBI would. Absolutely, FBI would. Yeah, well, again, FBI. Atanashi. He may not be in the U.S., but he's still a U.S. citizen. So, the FBI can facilitate arrests overseas. That can be done depending upon the crime. If the investigation charges warrant it, the FBI can arrest someone that is in another country. They would just need to work with that country. And last I checked, Japan is perfectly content with working with the FBI. It would be faster if he's in the U.S., but can still be done.
Jewish state.
Yeah.
They talk about
Vader voice. I do not feel the force in this one. He is worse than the dark side and I do not wish to join him.
Good.
Intifada glowingly. They support Hamas, a genocidal terrorist
I might
group
literally
with American
be going to
blood
jail
on their hands. It is a fallacy to pretend, oh, we can't criticize the government of Israel. That is not the issue here.
Congratulations to all my haters, bro. You did it. All the liberals.
Constantly.
At least the nickname fits. Piker.
What does that mean?
So do I think Hassan Piker...
And he didn't get the joke. When they just said at least the name fits Piker, Hassan actually went, what does that mean? He didn't even get the joke. He's that fucking stupid. He didn't even get the insult that everyone else fucking got. Your dog, I don't even know. This is not even a liberal or conservative issue. Like, he's like, if he blames the liberals, then fuck it. Let him blame the liberal. This is literally not a liberal or conservative thing. That's actually not even in the equation. At all. That's not in the equation. The Houthis, the Hamas, the Hezbollah, they're all categorized as terrorists. Thank you, Feech. Thank you. So, okay, someone, for those that don't, someone please put the dish. I don't want to come off the screen. I want to continue on with this because I'll be here all night otherwise. Someone please put in the chat the definition of piker. I gotta continue on with this.
Is going to go to jail over this stuff. No, I don't think he is. And even if he was charged, he's a very wealthy man. I'm sure he could find a competent lawyer to try to wiggle his way out of this. But the fact that he's being talked about on a platform like this is crazy. And he's feeling the heat, right? He looks very bad. And now you're getting people who are outside the little echo chamber. I think we get kind of stuck in this content creation space where we hold people up on a higher pedestal and level of importance than they actually are. But to see him getting into the major news cycle like this and being, well, described in exactly how he's wanted to be described is pretty crazy. And now he's nervous. And you know what he's doing? The first thing he's doing in response to this? He's playing the victim. He's acting like he's going to be persecuted for this stuff, when in reality, they're just sharing his insane beliefs that he proudly displays to his community, and he just doesn't like the mirror, basically. He doesn't like seeing people talk about him, because I guarantee if you go down the street and show a random...
The moment you get Hassan out of his echo chamber, he just turns into a scared little boy. He is only this confident when he is in his own little self-contained echo chamber, his own safe little bubble. The minute he is removed out of his safe space, because God knows people like him love their safe spaces, even while they're advocating for people to die, as soon as he comes out of his little safe space, he cowers like a little bitch. And he proved it in the debate. He absolutely proved it. The second he did not have his chat to lean on, or to basically slurp and glorp his dick all stream long, the moment he lost that in the debate, he turned into a pathetic little bitch that was just cowering in a corner and could not defend any bullshit that he was saying. Because that's who Hassan is. He is a whiny little bitch that desperately needs a whole stream chat sucking his dick and saying, "You are the greatest, Hassan. Please tell me more. Feed me more." Without that, he's nothing. If he lost his... He is basically a non-chaotic version of Johnny Smollett. And Gus Reagan, thank you. He is. He is just like Johnny Smollett in that if you were to take his audience away from him, if he lost this platform, if he, by some grace of God miracle, he gets booted off of Twitch and cannot stream anywhere else, like YouTube or anything, he's nothing. And he knows it. He is absolutely nothing without his stream. His stream is all he is. Just like Johnny. Without the stream, he is nothing and will probably fall into a depressive state. Because that he has basically made his stream his identity.
Random average Joe, some of his comments about terrorism and stuff, they would say this guy is absolutely insane. Now, is he actually breaking any laws? People keep throwing around material support for a terrorist organization. I don't think that's what he's doing. I think it's a bit of a stretch.
No,
but
definitely not.
Let it be known, it's not just the traditional sense where like you're sending weapons or money to them. There are also verbal things that you can say that will get you in trouble.
Irahan. Thank you for the banana cat.
And that has to do with expert advice or assistance. Now, I don't think anything he's doing is quite at that level, but the fact that we're literally even considering this is insane.
No. No. Hassan does not fall into any of this. Not a bit. No. Realistically speaking, this is why when people have said, oh, he needs to be tried for treason, no. He has not actually done, he has legitimately not done anything that would qualify under under treason. As much as we hate him, as much as we loathe what he does and what he says and what he promotes, the reality is he has not actually committed treason. And it is important to make that distinction where, instead of going off the handle and saying, he should be charged with treason, everything he's doing is treasonous, it's important to keep perspective. You can absolutely hate him. You can deride what he says. You can absolutely call him down to the carpet for everything he says and say that he supports terrorism. Absolutely. But keep it in perspective. What he's done does not qualify for treason. It simply doesn't. So people need to keep perspective on this until he start actually offering safe houses to terrorists, sends them money to fund their operation, with the currency or monetary instruments for finance securities or services, expert advice or assistance, the assistance being maybe if he starts really doing terrorist promotions for recruiting purposes, until he does anything in here, treason should not be on the menu for things levied against Hassan. Like this is it. As much as emotionally, as much as we would love to, from an emotion standpoint, it is important to maintain a logical perspective on this and not do what so many people that I criticize for of basically using a descriptor, using a word or verbiage that is a word or verbiage of power that does not accurately describe the individual of the act. Saying someone should be charged for treason is a statement of power that should make people sit up and go, holy shit, is it really this bad that they should be charged for treason? That is something that should be maintained, that level of power and attention grabbing. Hassan does not qualify for this by any stretch. So let us not dilute yet another phrase of power, authority, and attention by just throwing it around when it does not apply.
Someone who's supposed to be one of the faces of Twitch, a gaming streaming site. Like, what are we even talking about anymore? How is this a real conversation and he's not going to get in any trouble for? I guarantee he's not going to get in trouble for this. His infamous ban, the most recent one, was one day after basically sharing violent rhetoric about a sitting U.S. senator saying someone needs to game end him. Like, you know what I mean?
And that was only because Twitch had to. Twitch knew that if they did not do a ban and facilitate some kind of punishment against Hassan, chances are there would have been calls on Capitol Hill to investigate Twitch. If he received no kind of punishment for doing that, I think Twitch knew that they would probably be getting phone calls from Capitol Hill going, "Hi, we need to talk," and that's why they did the absolute bare minimum. That was not even a slap on the wrist.
This is absolutely insane, and Twitch just looks stupid, more stupid by pretty much every single day, by allowing this stuff to continue over and over again. And the one term I also see is stochastic terrorism, which I think is something that a lot of people in his orbit like to do. Calls for violence, things like that, where they don't directly say, go do this to this person, but they're encouraging violent rhetoric and they're trying to have plausible deniability. This is what a lot of people, unfortunately, are resorting to because it's become normalized on Twitch. People think they can get away with this stuff, so they keep doing it. It's absolutely disgusting. And before we get off of Hassan Piker here, one more round of clips I want to share because this is really funny. So when reacting to Asmongold, as he does every single day, Hassan says Asmongold is bitch made and audience captured. Let's listen to this.
Are you saying you're afraid of your community so you can't concede any ground on, so you say wild shit? Dude, I yell at my community more than he does. He's so fucking bitch made. He literally can't even stream on his main channel because he was afraid of fucking criticism. What the fuck are you talking about? I literally say everything with my whole god.
Wait, what is this bullshit about he can't stream on his main channel because he's afraid of criticism? First and foremost, Hassan, point out to me a time where Asmin has ever been afraid of criticism. Ever. Spoiler alert, he hasn't. Anytime Asmin gets criticized, he'll either dumpster the person criticizing him, or he'll actually consider and go, okay, yeah, you're right. Rather than, I always thought it was. Maybe it isn't, but the fact is, Zach Rar is his main channel. Like, maybe at once upon a time, he had another channel that he started off on. So, like, he may have had, like, I don't know if he had an Asmin Gold main channel that he started on, but Zach Rar has become his main channel. And why does he not go to the other Asmin channel? Because everybody goes to the Zach Rar channel where all of his audience goes. So why would he stream on his original channel if no one's going to go there? Why would he stream on a channel when hundreds of thousands of people are on the Zach Rar channel? That's not hiding. That's literally going where his audience is. You dumb fuck.
Damn chest. The idea that I'm fucking afraid of my audience, the way that I'm audience captured, this meta is so clear cut a form of projection that is insane to me, because it's literally only commentators, only other people that engage in commentary, political commentary, actually say this all the time.
Well, okay, he says Asmongold is audience captured, meaning he can't say certain things because it would piss off his audience, so he has to steer around it, which is projection, as he's saying,
wrong.
And also hypocrisy, because we got the receipts here. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is him talking about Hogwarts Legacy.
This game
is
the only reason why I'm not playing this game, and I know a bunch of other people are not playing this game, is because we know that it's not worth it to get fucking bullied endlessly and called transphobic endlessly when we have massive queer communities and audiences. That's it. Every
audience captured. He wouldn't play Hogwarts Legacy because he thought he would get bullied by his own audience.
Which is doubly hilarious, because the people that were shitting all over Hogwarts and calling it a transphobic game were not actually reasonable LGBT people. The people that were reading and screaming and calling Hogwarts Legacy a transphobic game were activists, most of whom were not trans themselves. They were fucking white knighting for trans people when trans people were like, dude, we don't need you to stand for us. We're cool with this game. It was literally only activists.
Hey, who left this bowl of onions here?
So it's a false equivalency. He's making excuses because actual people, like actual trans individuals, not activists, just normal average people that happen to be trans, had no problem. They had no problem. No, Leo, no, it's not a matter. That's not why they were calling it transphobic. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, it's not a question of the Hogwarts Legacy having a trans character in it. That was not it. The reason why people were calling Hogwarts Legacy a transphobic game is because of comments made by J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling has been vocal about her feeling regarding transgender individuals, not in a positive way. And so because of what J.K. Rowling has said, these activist dumbfucks labeled Hogwarts Legacy as a, quote, transphobic game when it is not. And again, this is these activist fucktards that are a beast that cannot be fed. And they just keep taking and keep eating, and they will not rest, and their entire purpose is to make everyone as miserable as they are. That's it. And it's these people, you know, that they bullied one streamer, one VTuber. I think they bullied her off the entire fucking platform. Like, they bullied her so hard, she broke down crying, ended the stream, and I can't recall exactly if she actually left the platform. Yeah, pick me. Did she? I can't remember. Did she actually quit streaming after that, or just took a minor hiatus? I know that she actually, like, broke down and just shut the stream down. I want to say that that she came back on another. Okay, so they kind of sort of bullied her off the platform. But a lot of streamers just ignored that. Oh, she came back as Henya. Okay, Pitch Me came back as Henya. Gotcha. Yeah, and they bullied Silvervale. There are plenty of streamers though that like the Weers came in and tried to bully people that played Hogwarts Legacy, and a lot of the streamers that were playing it and enjoying it just kind of went, shut the fuck up, I'm having fun. Go fuck yourself, and just kept playing. But Hassan is too bitch-made, to use her own words, Hassan, to even try to play it. Because you're scared. Because you're scared that people are going to come in and be mean to you. No, it's like it. He didn't get bullied. He did. Well, there may have been attempts to bully Asmon, but Asmon don't give a fuck. That's the difference. That's why it's so hilarious Hassan's trying to say Asmon's bitch made. Because Hassan flat out does not give a fuck. He doesn't fucking care. That's why he says whatever the fuck he wants. Yeah. I will not be bullied by a bunch of people that have nothing better to do with their lives. LGBT people are awesome. Twitter people are not awesome. Fuck you. They Silvervale right there. And that's how it should be. Because again, the people that were going into streams and reading about it didn't actually fucking care about the supposed cause that they claimed to be supporting. Not one of them actually gave a fuck. Every single person that was going into streams and trying to bully streamers for playing Hogwarts Legacy, claiming that they were transphobes, did not believe a fucking thing they said. They only wanted to make people as miserable as they are. That's it. End of story.
I'm glad people have receipts on stuff like this. It's not surprising to see this is all projection and hypocrisy, but anyways, I said there was going to be another example we were going to talk about today, and it's this guy, Mike from PA, who is once again making another call to violence, his second one in recent months. Let's listen to this.
Oh, God.
Can I say something? Can I say something? And it's, I really like that these people did this. But I gotta be honest, with my experience in life with people like Ethan, the only thing that ever knocks them out of their fucking spiraling is the rod. It's the stick. It's not the carrot. Like he feels like he's bullying you. He feels like he's hurting you.
Mike from PA, you just look at him, especially if I said, it's the rod, and immediately my thought is, dude, what are you doing with your rod? Keep your fucking rod away from everybody, please. He looks like a fucking creep. Absolutely he does. This... Parents, keep your daughters away from this person. Maybe sons too. And by the way, what he's talking about is in regards to Ethan. He's saying that Ethan needs the quote rod. So he's talking about Ethan here, not Hassan.
It's not going to stop until he's bleeding out of the corner of his mouth. And I get it. I want to be empathetic. Like, I understand the value of empathy. I understand the value of trying to reach out to someone. But somebody like Ethan, he needs to see some stars before he's gonna fucking back down. You know? And so I just would not do this. Like, and I get I know that a lot of them have since come out and said, well, that didn't work because they legitimately tried. And so I don't think that they were wrong to try this. It's just with people like Ethan Klein, until he feels the pressure, he's not going to stop.
Just like the comments that Hassan has made about the Houthi pirates, this is going to go unpunished. 100%, nothing's going to happen to this guy.
Although, this is not as bad. Like, okay, you can make the comparison about, beating empathy into people. Unfortunately, I think the way he termed it, I think an argument could be made. Not one that I would believe necessarily, but I do think that the way he phrased all of it, an argument could be made that he was speaking metaphorically. And not actually saying that Ethan should get beaten with a stick until he's bleeding out of the corner of his mouth. His terminology, his verbiage could be interpreted as in a metaphorical context. It's not as outright as like when Hasan said that a sitting U.S. congressperson should be unalived. That the solution is to unalive this sitting congressperson. It's not to that level. It's not to the level of actively supporting Houthi terrorists. It's you can read between the lines, but if you were to take his words at face value, the argument could be made that he was speaking metaphorically. Not like he was right at that fine line of in Minecraft. I don't think he crossed over it. I don't think he quite made it over that line where it was the bullshit in Minecraft thing.
I don't think they want to go out of their way to do anything about this, but this is obvious. It's an obvious call for violence against Ethan Klein. I mean,
and like you certainly could make the argument that he was speaking literally. Yes, you could. But I didn't hear anything in there where he's calling for his community to now, granted, plenty of people might take it that way, even if he doesn't say it. But what he was saying did not sound like a call for violence against Ethan. It realistically didn't, but he was right at that line. He was right at the line. Really fucking close to stepping over it.
About this, but this is obvious. It's an obvious call for violence against Ethan Klein. I mean, what are we doing again? Why is Twitch allowing all of this? It's so gross that people resort to this stuff when they can't make a counter argument. They can't do anything that actually provides any sort of real criticism. They go to calls for violence and they go to extremism and all this stuff. It's so insane.
And again, I will point out, I'm going to keep pointing this out. Asmund got banned for 2 weeks for making a statement about a group of people, a factual statement criticizing a group of people and their actions, but did not call for violence against them in any way, shape, or form. He caught 2 weeks. Tectone was threatened with a permaban because he made fun of Frogan. He was threatened with a permaban because he made fun of Frogan. This guy, Hasan, Frogan, openly support terrorism? Not a fucking thing happens. Not a thing.
To see how normalized all of this is.
He
and
was,
like I
Emilio.
said, not even the first time this guy has made a call to violence. He did the same thing for Destiny as well a few months back. And
Destiny, he was openly calling for violence, I think.
The two main clips, it's from the last 24 hours. Like, are we serious? And again, all these people are either Hassan Piker or people who are in his orbit. And it's not really a coincidence that this is where we're seeing the most calls for violence coming out of that group. It's really crazy. You know what's even crazier? You can't report this guy either. You can't even report him. Again, another error
Wow.
message if you try to report his channel. Absolutely insane. Something clearly
this is
going
starting
on
to become,
at Twitch. But again, it's not surprising, but you can see.
Okay, this is a little bit more evidence to stack up that of Twitch Twitch protecting. No, Zed, he did not, and that's why, yeah, and that's why I've said, like, take what Tecton has said with a grain of salt. He did not provide receipts, so you do have to, and I said that at the beginning of the stream, like, it's, you want to believe what he said because you can actually believe that this could happen, but he didn't provide the receipts, so, again, trust but verify. However, the Asmon thing happened. The Asmon thing absolutely happened. So, that one, there's no dispute on it. Flat out. And yeah, Sketty, the Bad Empanada thing, like, Bad Empanada actually making a video looking like a terrorist himself? Yeah, that's another one. It's just... Oh, Jack, I would not be surprised at all. No, Zach. I was just showcasing a couple of examples that I am aware of. With the Tectone thing, he said that he was going to get permabanned, and then he said that Twitch took that away, but told him, you know, don't mess with Frogan anymore. You know, if you don't want this to happen again, don't mess with Frogan. But he has not provided receipts, so again, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Tectone, I think, needs to provide receipts. He needs to post the messages from Twitch if he wants to be truly taken seriously. But what happened with Asmund? That actually happened. There's no need of receipts. We all saw the receipts. He got banned for no reason. Because he criticized the wrong people. Not called for violence, criticized someone, and they banned him for it.
Ethan Klein making this post saying, Twitch leftists continue to call for violence with zero recourse. Twitch must start passing out permanent bans for this, or there will be a reckoning like we've never seen. It's not too late, but it will be soon. And that's my thoughts as well on the platform. If they don't do something about this content, it's going to eventually boil over, and there's going to be no putting it back. It's going to be major consequences for the platform, especially if, like I said, Amazon starts taking a look, because right now Twitch is on life support. Don't get it twisted. Twitch is a struggling company somehow, despite having basically the golden ticket for printing money. They still are operating at a loss. They're relying on Amazon to save them. And imagine if Amazon pulls the plug. They are screwed. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
So yeah, we are seeing fallout. We are seeing fallout from this. I fully expect an Adpocalypse 2.0 to be incoming. That would not at all surprise me. If we had Apocalypse 2.0, Electric Boogaloo. But we will see.